Hey everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, I'll try to debunk myths and clarify misconceptions about thoughts. What are thoughts? Where do we get our thoughts from? In the simplest definition, thoughts are ideas or opinions produced by thinking. Neurons release chemicals known as neurotransmitters, which generate these electrical signals in neighboring neurons. The electrical signals propagate like a wave to thousands of neurons, which leads to thought formation. To understand this better, let's have a look at the history of human civilizations. Let's go back to 150,000 years ago. Geometric shapes and iconography tells us that humans thought about items and used them for decoration or ornamentation. 140,000 years ago, scientists discovered the first evidence of long-distance trade. 50,000 years ago, humans started to bury their dead in ritualistic ceremonies. 10,000 years ago, there was an uprising in agricultural life and people began domesticating animals, including dogs. 5,000 years ago, scientists discovered the earliest signs of writing. And of course, writing changed everything. Writing helped us understand human history and deciphered early life in the absence of phones and modern technology. We may not know the whole truth about ancient civilizations, but the hieroglyphs on temple walls or other writings in cave walls can provide us with decent information about humans in the past and how they lived. We've come a long way and advanced in so many areas in life through our thoughts. The cognitive triangle depicts how our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are all interconnected with each other and influence one another. Therefore, you can change or at least influence one by changing another. For example, you're asked to give a public speech and it's your first time. Your thoughts or the voice inside your head will start telling you things like, "You're so awkward and shy, you'll mess this up, you're not fit for this speech," and so on. Your feelings will be affected due to these racing thoughts, and you may start feeling anxious, and if you're too anxious, that could lead to having a panic attack. Now, once you've reached this level of mental instability, you may start behaving differently by bringing up excuses as to why you won't be able to give the speech, or you might even call it off. Now, think how a simple thought change can instantly impact the outcome of events in your life. Your thoughts aren't formed by a single medium or experience. They can be influenced by those around you as well, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. The term collective consciousness or collective mind was first introduced by the French sociologist Émile Durkheim in his The Division of Labor and Society in 1893. Collective consciousness is a set of shared beliefs, ideas, and moral attitudes which operate as a unifying force within society. It has a very strong influence on humans, and at most times it shapes one's personality and how they view the world. It's like a group of people following an ideology or a belief system, and once a thinker or a philosopher opposes these ideas, they become intolerable and rejected from their community. Which is why many philosophers like Friedrich Nietzsche preferred isolation and felt lonely. We've been programmed to not think out of the box, and that has been passed to many generations. But how are we supposed to free our thoughts, especially if they're always negative? First, we'll need to find the essence of our thoughts. Isolate yourself and try to observe what causes these negative thoughts. Our minds will never stop thinking, and that's normal. But believing your thoughts and identifying with them is the core issue of your mental and sometimes physical malfunction. Whenever you have these debates or inner battle of voices inside your head, try to be a third-person perspective observer. By doing so, you've become aware of this thought process and you no longer identify yourself with these thoughts. Identification with your thoughts will cause you to lose your sense of self. Thus, anyone who opposes your thoughts will become your enemy. If you become conscious or self-aware, those who oppose your thoughts will no longer become your enemies because you don't identify yourself with your thoughts. The best way to understand the human brain is to realize that thoughts are energy forms. They can either construct or destroy you, mentally and physically, depending on what or who has been influencing you. Uprooting these thoughts into being conscious is the only way you can discover your true sense of self. Don't let energy forms inside your head confuse your essence. Become one with your essence, as you are the consciousness and not these energy forms. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.